Hello, my name is Davis and welcome back to my tech channel. So recently I've made a lot of videos about Palm WebOS phones and I've been raving about how fantastic their wireless charging solution was. I mean, just look at it. The phone just magnetically aligns itself to the touchstone charger, which turns into a lovely stand to admire that massive 3.1-inch display from. Well, I mean, this was 2009. But something that I thought of back in the day was why not just put a battery in here and turn it into the simplest and easiest to use battery bank ever. I mean, instead of having to faff around with cables and ports on the go, all you have to do is put your phone on the dock and then wow, it's charging. So why didn't it happen? Well, there was one slight, actually kind of major issue. Inductive charging is an incredibly inefficient method of transferring power to your phone. In fact, some people have claimed that up to 70% of the charge that leaves the charger never actually reaches your phone. Therefore, if you have a sizable, let's say 3000 milliamp battery, you might not even get 1000 of those milliamps into your device. So I guess because of the intrinsic inefficiencies of inductive charging and the fact that wireless charging with magnets hasn't really been a thing since HP killed Palm in 2011, I thought that the idea of wireless charging in a battery bank would just be a pipe dream. Well, 12 years later, it's a pipe dream no longer because Apple, like usual, has made all of my dreams come true and has launched this, the Magsafe Battery Pack. And today we are going to unbox it and try it out. But before we open this fabulous box, if you enjoy a tech video every now and again, please help me out in the algorithm by liking the video, subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already, and follow me on my socials in the description if you are feeling especially generous. So, one of the most exciting things that occurred during the launch of the iPhone 12 last year was the launch of Magsafe. Over the past few years, most of us have become accustomed to the idea of wireless charging, but probably realize that it's more of a hassle to put your phone roughly on the charger, check if it's charging, then sort of rearrange it so it sits in the perfect spot, than to just plug the cable in. With Magsafe, just place the phones roughly beside it and it aligns like magic. I felt that the idea of combining Magsafe with a battery pack then was fairly obvious, and some third-party accessory makers did too. And so these are the couple that I've been using over the past year. This is the first one I got because it was the cheapest at the time. For around $60 Australian, it offers a claimed 4000 milliamps and is quite a slim and relatively attractive design, I think. However, it does have a few disadvantages, just small ones. Firstly, the plastic feels incredibly cheap. It's quite possibly the nastiest feeling material I've ever felt. And secondly, the magnet, if you can see here, it aligns to the phone like so, is so weak and easy to misalign. You realize quite often that quite later that your phone wasn't actually charging. And then thirdly, it actually charges with a micro USB port. Micro USB, I mean, it's 2021. How is that even acceptable? And then lastly, I bought two of these and the other one went all Galaxy Note 7 on me and literally exploded while I was charging it. And now I'm simply too scared to use this one. But at least it was cheap. After that one exploded though, I bought one of these blue chargers from another nondescript store on eBay for a little bit more, and surprisingly, it's pretty fantastic. Sure, it still charges rather slowly, but at 10,000 milliamps, it still has more than enough battery to charge my iPhone 12 mini more than once. But not only that, but it charges with USB-C, as you can see down here. And this is fantastic because it's not a port from 2 decades ago. And in addition to that, it also seems to be quite nicely made from a glossy polycarbonate material, and then you've got this lovely rubber backing over here to give you more grip. And my favorite feature of this particular battery is the magnet, because it is just so strong. Just look at that. Pretty strong if you ask me. In fact, it's so strong, what I like to do is turn it around literally 90 degrees and hold it quite securely like an LG wing, which is a pretty good position for watching videos and stuff, if you can believe. So while I do love this blue charger that I bought, I'm quite excited to see how Apple's version fares, considering that they've had at least 6 months to assess the competition and make something even better. Unfortunately, however, not all the specs look fantastic. For $139, which is incredibly dear for a battery this small, you only get a 3000 mAh battery, which is pretty dismal, but at least it can charge the phone at up to 20 watts as opposed to 5 watts of the competition. But only when it's plugged in, which is also kind of a niche use case. However, when you are using it normally on battery, it's the same for 5 watts as the competition. Despite that, what's really exciting is that this is the first device to be able to use the hidden reverse wireless charging capabilities of the iPhone 12. So when you charge your phone via lightning cable with the battery pack on, after your phone is charged, it will then charge the battery from the phone's coils, which sounds incredibly convenient. This means that you only need one lightning cable to charge your phone and battery simultaneously. Why they didn't decide to have another wireless charging coil on the other side of the battery so that you could charge both the phone and battery pack simultaneously, wirelessly, I don't know. But I'm sure that Apple has their reasons. Another feature that I'm looking forward to using is that in the battery widget on your phone, it should also display the charge level of the battery. So it shouldn't be as much of a guessing game as these batteries are. So now let's finally take a look at the box, and I do sort of have to admit that it's not especially exciting. Upon holding it though, I can tell you that it does feel quite high quality being Apple, and it's also quite dense for the compact size that it is. On the front you can see here that there's an image of the battery. Incredible, I know, and sadly no, it's not embossed, but it does say iPhone Battery Pack Magsafe on it, in case if you didn't know what it was. On this side over here, it says compatible with Magsafe for iPhone with the latest version of iOS. By latest version of iOS, they probably mean iOS 14.7, which Apple claims to include support for Magsafe Battery Pack and other improvements, which is nice. And on the back of the box, up here, it says iPhone Battery Pack in 8 languages, and below that there's a fairly rudimentary diagram on how to use it in case that you thought that the battery was, I don't know, supposed to go on the front of the phone or something. So now let's finally open it up, shall we? So we've got this little sticker here that a lot of Apple devices use, so there's no need for a knife. Let's peel that. That wasn't that satisfying. Now we can pull it open. Let's do that. It's quite stiff, and oh my god, so there's this lovely sleeve over here, and underneath that there's the battery. It actually looks kind of beautiful, like a massive AirPods case or something. Okay, so we remove that and it's in the little sleeve, and then let's open the case like so. Wow. It's actually incredibly beautiful. Just look at that. Firstly, the material. It's sort of I thought it was a glossy material from the photos for some reason, but it's actually this lovely matte material. If you've ever felt, I don't know, a Nokia Lumia 800 or something like that, it feels exactly like that. And you've got the logo over here, which sort of reminds me of an old iPod Shuffle for some reason. And it's actually really thin. Just look at that. Compare it to, let's say, this blue charger. Look how thin that is. And the build quality just feels so solid. There's no flex to it, there's no creaking. And then you've got a lovely rubberized back, just like you do on this one. Feels a little bit more slippery, but it's still good. And then on the bottom here, you have the lightning cable. So you don't need to pack those annoying USB-C cables or a micro USB. You know, it's good. I think it's slimmer than even, yes, this slim one that I had at first, which exploded on me. And let's just put it on the phone to see. 3, 2, 1. It sits pretty nicely. You can see that's sort of the same width as the iPhone mini. Let me take the case off from the iPhone so you can see more directly how it fits. It's pretty much the same width as the iPhone, so it sits pretty perfectly if you ask me. Okay, so it says iPhone can charge to approximately 90% while using MagSafe. And then, yep, we get that lovely screen. You don't get that with any of the third-party Qi chargers. And another little bonus that you have here, what I find quite annoying with these third-party chargers, is that once you've put it on, you still have to press a little button to initiate the charging. Because the Magsafe battery is a first-party Apple device, it's got a little sensor, so it knows exactly when you've got it on, so there's no need to press a button, it just charges automatically. And then let's get into the phone. And yes, you can see here that there's actually 0 charge in the battery, so that's probably why it isn't charging. But yes, it's so convenient how it appears in your battery widget over here. And yeah, that's pretty cool. That's basically the charger. Let's see what else is in the box, shall we? So and in the box as well, we've got this little sleeve. Oh, isn't that so cute? It's like a tiny little McDonald's fries box or something. It says designed by Apple in California. We've got a safety warning. Oh, isn't that the cutest little booklet in the world? Except we don't have one, we don't have two, but we've got 4 of these little booklets. I have no idea what they say and I don't really care, so let's put them back in. So that was basically the unboxing, but I just can't explain how lovely this is to hold. Compared to especially to this rather thick blue charger that I have, and even this, this black one that I had initially. Like that one doesn't even sit properly on the iPhone mini. It just feels so good to hold. To be fair, they have had to compromise on battery size to get it to this perfect size. Since it can only charge around 90% of an iPhone mini, it probably means you can only get an additional 50% charge if you've got something like an iPhone 12 Max or something like that. So that is a little bit of a disadvantage, but I'd say for the build quality and the first-party integrations, it's definitely worth the price over any of these alternatives, which are still relatively expensive. I mean, this one probably still goes for around $60, $70, and that's a lot of money for a 5,000 milliamp battery. Oh, 10,000 milliamp battery, I should say. I guess another use case that you could have for this as well is that you could just sit this on your bedside table and use it as a wireless charger. You'll just plug your lightning cable in, pop your phone on during the night, and then wow, you don't need to buy a separate Qi charger or a Magsafe. It's probably a little bit weird to use it like that, to be honest, but you can use it. Okay, so what do I think about the battery so far? Well, I think that it's a lovely first-party solution for all iPhone 12 users, but regrettably, it is a little bit small and quite overpriced. However, if you are like me and are happy to pay quite excessively for first-party integrations and peace of mind, I mean, to be fair, this dodgy eBay one did explode on me, then I guess it's sort of an okay purchase. And that brings me to the end of the video. Comment below if you are going to be buying one of these Apple Magsafe chargers or if you're just going to stick with one of the third-party alternatives. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Links to all of my socials are in the description. But until next time, toodaloo.